The restaurant's amber lighting cast soft shadows across Emma Chen's face as she checked her watch for the third time. 27 minutes late. She should have known better than to let her assistant set up another blind date. Emma had built her tech empire from a college dorm room into a billion-dollar company before turning 35, but finding someone who saw beyond the Forbes covers and boardroom victories had proven impossible. Every date felt like a job interview, every conversation calculated. This one was already shaping up to be her last attempt. She signaled for the check, ready to abandon hope once more, when the restaurant door burst open. A man stumbled in, slightly disheveled, with a 6-year-old girl clutching his hand. His tie hung loose, his hair was windswept, and there was what appeared to be glitter on his jacket sleeve. "I'm so sorry," he breathed, rushing to her table. "Are you Emma?" "I'm Marcus. I'm so incredibly sorry I'm late." Emma's practiced smile felt tight. She'd heard every excuse before. Traffic, work emergency, lost track of time. She waited for the inevitable lie. But Marcus didn't sit down. Instead, he knelt beside his daughter, whose eyes were red from crying. "Sweetie, give me just 1 minute to apologize to this nice lady, okay?" The little girl nodded, clutching a stuffed elephant with one ear missing. Marcus turned to Emma, and she saw something in his expression that stopped her from making her exit. It wasn't the usual rehearsed charm she'd encountered on countless other dates. It was exhaustion, genuine remorse, and something else, a vulnerability that seemed completely unguarded. "I know you have no reason to believe me," he started, "but my daughter Lily had a complete meltdown at school today. They called me to pick her up early because she was inconsolable. Her best friend is moving away next month, and it just hit her all at once during art class." Emma glanced at the child, who was indeed staring at her shoes, with the posture of someone carrying the weight of the world on small shoulders. "I tried to get here on time," Marcus continued. "I had my neighbor lined up to watch her, but Lily wouldn't let go of me. She was terrified I wouldn't come back. Her mother passed away 2 years ago, and sometimes the fear just overwhelms her." The practiced response died on Emma's lips. She found herself looking at this man, really. Looking and seeing someone completely different from what she'd expected. "I understand if you want to leave," Marcus said quietly. "I just needed you to know I didn't stand you up because I didn't care. I was late because I couldn't leave my daughter when she needed me more than anything in the world." Emma surprised herself by gesturing to the chairs. "Sit down, both of you." Marcus's eyes widened. "Really? You don't have to—" "I said sit," but she smiled when she said it. And for the first time in months, it felt genuine. Lily looked up at her father with uncertainty, but Marcus guided her into the booth. A waiter appeared immediately, sensing the shift in atmosphere, and Marcus ordered chicken fingers for Lily without even looking at the menu. The conversation started awkwardly. Marcus kept apologizing, and Emma kept insisting it was fine, though she wasn't entirely sure why she'd stayed. Maybe it was the novelty of honesty. Maybe it was the way Marcus automatically cut up his daughter's food before touching his own. Maybe it was how different this felt from every other carefully orchestrated evening. But as the minutes passed, something unexpected happened. They actually talked, not the shallow getting-to-know-you script, but real conversation. Marcus was a high school English teacher who spent his summers coaching Little League. He spoke about his students with the kind of passion that reminded Emma why she'd fallen in love with technology in the first place, to solve problems, to help people, to make a difference. "What about you?" Marcus asked, after finishing a story about a student who'd just published her first poem. "My friend who set this up said you worked in tech, but honestly, I was so scrambled today I didn't even Google you." Emma laughed, and it felt strange because it was real. "I run a software company. We develop accessibility tools for people with disabilities." "That's incredible," Marcus said, and she could tell he meant it. "What made you want to do that?" Before Emma could answer, Lily tugged on her father's sleeve. She whispered something in his ear so quietly that Emma couldn't hear. Marcus's expression softened impossibly further. "Sweetie, I don't know if—" But Lily whispered again, more insistently. Marcus looked at Emma with a question in his eyes. "Lily wants to know if she can tell you something." "Of course," Emma said, leaning forward. The little girl took a deep breath, her fingers twisting in her lap. When she spoke, her voice was barely above a whisper, but every word landed with the force of truth. "My daddy talks about you before bed." Emma blinked. "What?" Lily continued, gaining confidence. "He said he was nervous about meeting you tonight. He told me that sometimes grown-ups get second chances to be happy, and he wanted to try to be brave. He put on his special tie, the one Mommy gave him, because he said meeting someone new was scary but important." Marcus had gone completely still, his face flushing. "Lily, I don't think—" But his daughter wasn't finished. "When the school called, Daddy was already almost here. I heard him on the phone in the car. He was trying to explain to you that he'd be late, but the number didn't work. He kept trying and trying, but it wouldn't go through." Emma's throat tightened. She pulled out her phone and realized with a sinking feeling that she'd accidentally set it to block unknown numbers after a spam call that morning. "He was crying in the car," Lily said, her own eyes filling with tears. "Not big crying, but I saw. He said, 'I'm sorry, Lily, I know this was important, but you're more important than anything.'" The little girl looked directly at Emma now, with an intensity that seemed impossible for someone so young. "My daddy is the best person in the whole world. He makes my breakfast even when he's tired. He braids my hair even though he's not good at it yet. He reads me stories with all the voices, and when I'm scared at night about Mommy being gone, he stays with me until I fall asleep, even when he has papers to grade." A tear rolled down Lily's cheek. "He always picks me, but I know he's lonely sometimes. I hear him talking to Grandma on the phone about how hard it is to be alone, and I want him to be happy. I want him to have someone who picks him too." Emma felt her own eyes burning. In boardrooms across the world, she'd maintained perfect composure through hostile takeovers, brutal negotiations, and public failures. But this 6-year-old's words had shattered something inside her that she'd kept carefully protected for years. "Lily," Emma said softly, reaching across the table, "your daddy is very lucky to have you." "Am I—" Lily's voice cracked. "Am I bad for making him late?" "Oh, sweetheart, no." Emma's voice broke. "You're not bad. You're not bad at all. Sometimes the most important thing we can do is be there for the people we love. Your daddy did exactly the right thing." She looked at Marcus, who had tears streaming down his face now, not bothering to hide them. "I've been on 100 first dates," Emma continued, speaking to both of them now. "Rich men, successful men, men who showed up in expensive cars with expensive gifts and expensive words. But I've never met anyone who showed me what actually matters." She reached into her purse and pulled out a business card, then thought better of it and grabbed a napkin instead. She wrote her personal number, the one only 3 people in the world had. "Marcus, I'm going to give you this number, and I want you to call me tomorrow. Not because this is a successful date, but because I want to actually know you. No pressure, no expectations. Just 2 people figuring out if they want to be friends first." She turned to Lily. "And I want you to know something. The fact that your daddy chose you today, that's not why he's late. That's why he's extraordinary." Marcus took the napkin with shaking hands. "Emma, Don't apologize again," she said gently. "Just promise me you'll call." 3 weeks later, Emma found herself in the park, pushing Lily on a swing while Marcus unpacked a picnic lunch. It was their 5th non-date. Their rule was that Lily came to everything until they were both sure this was something real. "Higher," Lily squealed, and Emma obliged, marveling at how much her life had changed since that dinner. She'd told Marcus everything over those weeks. About building her company because her younger brother had cerebral palsy and struggled with standard technology. About how success had felt hollow when she had no one to share it with. About the wall she'd built that had taken a 6-year-old's honesty to crack. As Lily ran off to the slide, Marcus appeared beside her. "She talks about you constantly. Yesterday she asked if you could come to her school's parent day." Emma's heart skipped. "What did you tell her?" "I told her I'd ask you first." He paused, his hand finding hers. "But I'm hoping you'll say yes. Not just to parent day, but to all of it. The messy parts, the hard parts, the real parts." Emma looked at this man who'd been late to their first date and had somehow shown up, exactly when she needed him most. "I'm terrified," she admitted. "Me too," Marcus said. "But Lily taught me something. Sometimes being scared means you're about to do something really important." Emma squeezed his hand and called out to Lily, who came running back with windswept hair and grass-stained knees. The little girl crashed into both of them, wrapping her arms around their legs. "Group hug," she declared. And there, in the middle of an ordinary park on an ordinary Sunday, Chen learned what she'd been missing in all those boardrooms and business deals. Success wasn't about building empires or making Forbes lists. It was about showing up, about choosing people, about being brave enough to be late for all the wrong reasons and discovering they were the right ones all along. 6 months later, when Marcus finally worked up the courage to propose, he made sure to ask Lily first. And when she whispered, "Yes, Daddy, pick her," he knew he already had. Sometimes the best things in life don't arrive on time. Sometimes they arrive exactly when they're supposed to, carried in by someone with glitter on their sleeve and love in their heart, teaching us that being late doesn't mean you've missed your chance. It just means your story is more beautiful than you planned.